Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Chapter 13, An Unwelcome Phone Call. Monroe and Virolainen spent the next day helping the police at the Salininkatu police station. Monroe had called Naylor in London and told him what had happened. Naylor had told him not to keep any information back from the police. With Lapalainen now dead, people would be more interested in telling the truth. Teams of police searched the Bioratkasut factory, and all the scientists were brought in for questioning. Radio and television services carried the news of Lapalainen's death, saying only that he had a heart problem. Being a full-time politician and running a business company at the same time had been too much work for him. The truth was not necessary, and Bioratkaisut would have enough problems when the public found out that it had produced poison gas for a foreign country. Monroe told the police about Rita Koivisto, and another piece of the picture fell into place. Rita Koivisto was Jorma Lapalainen's sister. Koivisto was her married name. Although she was no longer married to her husband, Monroe remembered from the newspaper that she lived with her brother. Since she had searched his room at the hotel, it seemed probable that she was involved in her brother's plans too. Lapalainen's home in Finland and France were immediately searched, but Koivisto had disappeared. The following day, Monroe took Virolainen back to her Roilenkatu flat. The hospital had looked at her leg and allowed her to go home, but she was not walking very well. As she put the key in the door of her flat and opened it, she turned to Monroe. "Come in, Ian," she said, smiling at him. As soon as they were inside the flat, she turned to face Monroe. Pulling him towards her, she reached up and kissed him hard on the lips. As she stepped back, Monroe saw that her leg was clearly hurting her. He reached out and, putting one arm under her knees and the other around her shoulders, he carried her into the small bedroom and put her down carefully on her feet by the bed. Monroe again realized how beautiful this woman was. She pulled him towards her again, kissing him full on the mouth. Her body moved towards his, pressing close against him. She moved back a little and looked at him, running her fingers through his hair. They kissed again, more impatiently, and Virolainen reached to undo the buttons of Monroe's shirt. "Love me, Ian," she said quietly, looking straight into his eyes. "Make love to me." Back at his hotel the next morning, Monroe packed his bag and went down to the reception desk to check out. He had promised to go to Roilenkatu to say goodbye to Sherpa Virolainen before catching the coach to Vantaa Airport. He paid his bill, picked up his bag, and was turning to leave when he heard a voice. "Mr. Monroe." It was one of the receptionists. "Yes," said Monroe. "There's a phone call for you. You can take it on the phone over there." The man showed Monroe the phone at the end of the reception desk. Monroe picked up the phone. "Hello?" "Ian Monroe," said the voice at the other end. "There is someone here who would like to speak to you." Another voice came on the line. "Ian, is that you?" It was Sherpa Virolainen. The first voice came back. "I hope you know whose voice that was." "Yes," said Monroe. Thoughts were flying through his mind. He knew whose the first voice was, too. It was Rita Koivisto. Where was she? What was she doing? Koivisto spoke again. "Good. Well, Ms. Virolainen and I are at the top of the ski jump, in the Salpozelka area of town. You can see a long way from the top here. It's also a long way down. In fact, if you don't get here very quickly, Ms. Viralainen is going to find out how far down it is." "What do you want?" said Monroe. "I want you, Ian Monroe," said Koivisto. "I want you up here now. Don't call the police. Don't come with a gun. Get in the lift and come up to the top now." The line went dead. Monroe looked at the phone and put it down slowly. The color had left his cheeks. His face was white. "Are you all right, Mr. Monroe?" asked the receptionist. "Is there anything I can do?" Monroe looked at him. It took a few moments for Monroe to realize what the receptionist had said. Then he spoke. "Yes," he said, passing his bag to the man. "Could you look after this for a few hours? I've just discovered there's something I have to do before I leave Lahti." Wow, dramatic twist in the penultimate chapter of this story. Rita Koivisto is back. How is Ian going to get out of this? Will he rescue Sherpa? Will it be a happy ever after? We'll find out in the final chapter next week. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.